We're not really here for feel-good inspiration today. We're here for something a little more direct, a confrontation. Yeah, a confrontation with that quiet, reasonable voice inside your head, the one that loves comfort, that pushes things to tomorrow, that's always ready to negotiate. This is about using some timeless Stoic wisdom to finally defeat that weaker version of yourself so the real one can actually step up.
So let's just start with a pretty brutal question. And I want you to be really honest with yourself here. How many times have you known exactly what you needed to do and still chose the distraction over the discipline? See, the life you have right now is a direct result of everything you've let slide. Now, this isn't about beating yourself up. It's about taking command, starting right now. It's funny. The ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca absolutely nailed this problem over 2,000 years ago. We are terrified of the smallest daily discomforts, a tough workout, an awkward conversation, as if you're going to kill us. But when it comes to our biggest dreams, our greatest ambitions, we act like we have forever, endlessly putting off the very things that could completely change our lives. And that brings us to the first huge point here. The source of all this procrastination, all this delay, it isn't some big, bad external force. Nope, it's an enemy within. See, the thing is, your real enemy, that weaker self, it doesn't scream at you, it whispers. When you wake up and you feel that pull to just stay in bed, that's its voice. And it's smart. It knows how to disguise itself as self-care or rest. It'll tell you, you'll be so much more focused tomorrow. Or, come on, you deserve a break. But every single time you buy into those soft lies, you're building a life out of compromises. Just look at the contrast. It's so clear, isn't it? The weaker self is always whispering, wait. Your stronger self? It just moves. No debate. One is addicted to delay, while the other is all about building momentum. And here's the real kicker. That weaker self desperately needs an audience. It means applause. But the stronger self? It acts in silence because it's driven by an internal commitment, not by external validation. So how do we start to fight back? Well, the Stoics gave us a weapon, a fundamental principle for taking back our power. And it all starts with understanding your circle of control. This is it, the dichotomy of control. It's a simple but absolutely profound practice of separating what is in our power from what is not. Think about it. Most of our anxiety, our frustration, it comes from us trying to control things we have zero control over. The Stoics teach that real strength, true power, is found when you focus all of your energy only on what you can control, your own mind. And this breakdown just makes it crystal clear. So what's in your control? Your thoughts, your choices, your effort, and this is a big one, your response to whatever happens. And what's outside your control? Well, pretty much everything else. What other people think, the final results, the past, the future. The moment you stop obsessing over that column on the right, you reclaim a massive amount of mental energy. And the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius just summarized it perfectly. This isn't just a nice quote to hang on your wall. It's a command. Realize this, truly internalize it, and you will find a strength that no circumstance can ever touch. This is the very foundation of inner sovereignty. Okay, so once you get what you can control, you can start the real work, forging your inner citadel. This is all about building an unshakable mind, not through wishful thinking, but through deliberate daily practice. And really, it all comes down to these three core disciplines. First, you have to stop negotiating with your own weakness. Just stop. Second, you focus on creating momentum, not waiting around for motivation to strike. And third, you actively practice voluntary hardship to build your resilience. And you really have to get this. Discipline is not punishment. It's the honor of showing up for yourself, especially when you don't feel like it. We're taught to wait until we're motivated, but the Stoics knew the truth. Action creates motivation. Your behavior has to drive your feelings, not the other way around. Now, building yourself up on the inside isn't quite enough. You also have to protect that inner state from being torn down by the outside world. You have to learn to guard your mental space. And a huge part of that is your circle. Your social environment is either fertilizer for your growth or it's poison. Builders focus on action. They share strategies. They raise your standards. Dreamers? They get stuck in endless planning. They share complaints, and they make mediocrity feel normal. You absolutely become who you surround yourself with. You gotta choose wisely. All right, here's a really powerful idea. that separates the amateurs from the masters. In this world that is just addicted to constant stimulation, we're taught that boredom is the enemy. But what if it's not? What if boredom is actually your test? Because the ability to master boredom, that's a superpower. It's what allows you to build deep, sustained focus. It's the willingness to do the boring, repetitive, essential work when no one is watching and nothing feels exciting. That is where real greatness is forged. Which leads us to another core idea. We've been conditioned our whole lives to run from pain. But the Stoics, they taught the exact opposite. Run toward it. It's time to embrace the necessary pain. So here's the brutal truth. You're going to experience pain no matter what choices you make. That's just part of life. So the real question isn't if you'll suffer, but which suffering you're going to choose. Is it going to be the short-term, productive pain of discipline and growth, or the lifelong, corrosive pain of regret for what could have been? This quote just captures the Stoic mindset so perfectly. Obstacles aren't things you need to get around. They are the path. Every setback is a chance to practice a virtue, patience or creativity or resilience. The very thing you think is blocking your progress is your progress. And this brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful motivator of all. It's the one thing that just cuts through every excuse and brings absolute, undeniable clarity to your life. The reality of your own mortality. Memento mori. It's a Latin phrase the Stoics used as a daily meditation, and it means, remember you will die. And this isn't supposed to be morbid or depressing. Not at all. It's the ultimate tool for focus. When you truly accept that your time here is finite, you stop wasting it on things that just don't matter. It becomes the ultimate filter for every action, forcing you to ask, is this truly important? And so, we end right where we began, with a choice. And it's a choice you don't just make once. You make it every single day, in 1,000 tiny moments. The battle isn't loud. It's fought in the quiet decision to get up, to show up, to do the work. So which is it going to be for you? The temporary pain of discipline that builds a life of strength, or the permanent, haunting pain of regret? The choice is always yours.